We are talking about the Chicago Bears because Dave was there covering minicamp. We'll talk about that now on FFT in 5. All right, Dave got a little vacation. What'd you get, Giordano's out there?
Had Giordano's, had Aurelio's, had Pero's Brothers.
Jeez.
There's a reason why I weigh what I weigh.
Wow, I didn't know that we were getting that. Oh, that's like the Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze of pizza, right? There you
right,
go.
Because you don't know which one is truly the best. And Pero's Brothers isn't pizza, by the way, but it's still really good.
All right,
Great
no
food.
idea. Well, talk about
my
Caleb Williams.
cardiologist just got rich over the weekend. But listen, the Bears are a much improved team on both sides of the football. I'm encouraged by what I saw versus last year. I'm opening up to you. You represent the fans. Ask anything you want about the Bears.
All right. Well, first of all, do you think that based on other mini camps you've gone to in the past in previous seasons, do you think you can actually take away anything that's going to translate to September?
The best things that you can take away from a mini camp are things that happen in the passing game and how players are used. Okay, what's the strategy involved? Was DeAndre Swift an every down starter? Did he play with the ones exclusively and no one else got in? No, that didn't happen. We saw a lot of Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson mixing in with DeAndre Swift. And when the Bears were in their 2-minute offense, especially on the second day, it was Roschon Johnson on the field and not DeAndre Swift. Leaving Bears training camp made me a little bit more nervous to take DeAndre Swift in fantasy because, yes, he's a playmaker. He'll be used in the passing game to a degree, but I don't think he'll be a feature back in the same definition that we talk about for other running backs in the league.
Did you come away lower on Swift? Did you move him down?
Yes, just a little. He's a settle for RB2, but that group is bloating now with all the other running backs that are sharing and splitting reps. Names, guys that have upside, but there's warts, multiple.
Okay. So what can you tell us about Caleb Williams?
I thought he threw well. Certainly better than Justin Fields last year in minicamp and Justin Fields during the season. There were like 3 or 4 amazing plays that he made. One of my favorites was he's rolling out of bounds. He's about to step out of bounds. He throws across his body. It's a 20-yard dart that he could have handed to Roma Dunze, and it would have been just as good. It was just an awesome throw. Great in red zone drills, a great needle throw between 2 defenders right to DJ Moore. One really egregiously bad throw, and it was just an overthrown interception. He had another interception. He was a little late on the throws. The 2 things that he needed to work on were holding the ball too long. He was late on several throws, and also his cadence. On the first day of minicamp, there were 3 false start penalties that I saw. There were more in other drills, but 3 false start penalties in 7-on-7, 11-on-11. And so he's got to get better at that. And he said for the last 4 years, he hasn't been verbal on the field. He's, in college, they clap their hands and then they get the snap. He's got to change that in the pros, and the Bears are very hyper-focused on him getting better there. I would imagine that he does get there probably by the first month of the season, if not training camp, and he's ready to go at the beginning of the season. And the same thing with holding the ball too long. Once he gets a little bit more comfortable reading coverage, I saw the accuracy firsthand. I think it's good once he learns to read defenses better and process, especially post-snap. I think he'll be a very good thrower, maybe one of the very best throwers that this franchise has ever had.
I hope so. That'd be great. All right. So then if I told you that DJ Moore was a 3rd-round pick, Keenan Allen was, let's say, a 6th-round pick, and Odunze was 8th or 9th-round pick, based on what you've seen so far, who's the best value in that group?
I think it's DJ Moore. I really think that he's going to lead this team in targets. He had great synergy right off the bat with Caleb Williams. All 3 days he made plays, and he got a lot of targets. And here's what the Bears are intending to do, and this is another thing that you can draw away from minicamp, kind of like what I said with the running backs. The wide receivers and how were they used? I was really focused on that on the first day, and it held true all 3 days. Keenan Allen's the slot guy. When they're in 11 personnel, Allen even said it himself. He's the slot guy, which means that Moore and Odunze will work on the outside, and it's going to make it really hard for defenses to double team either one of them. When they go into a 2 tight end formation, I think you'll see Odunze off the field for now, and Keenan Allen will be that guy lining up on the outside. But DJ Moore had great chemistry and great timing with Caleb Williams, and so too did Odunze. I didn't quite see that with Keenan Allen until the very end of training camp. Probably by the time the season starts, again, all 3 of these receivers will have great timing with their quarterback. But I think DJ Moore, last year he had a ton of targets, had almost 100 catches. This year, probably going to knock off some of those catches, but I think he'll still be very, very effective. Odunze would be second on my list, though. And that's somebody that I'm going to be much more interested in throwing on my bench and seeing how he does. He told me himself, he's like, you've got to use me as a flex. He plays fantasy football. I think Odunze is someone that could end up being a flex for fantasy managers at points throughout the season when the Bears get into matchups where they're expected to be a high-scoring team. This is an offense, by the way, West Coast system, Shane Waldron off of the Sean McVay tree. You're going to see them throw much more than they did previously with Justin Fields. That's good for all three of the wide receivers.
Okay. Thank you to Dave Richard. And for all of you
last thing, Cole Kmet is not a top 12 fantasy tight end. That goes without saying because of the wide receivers, but Gerald Everett was getting plenty of run. Kmet only practiced one day. When they use 12 personnel, Everett might be the one who's moving around, not Kmet.
All right. Thank you to Dave Richard. Thank you to all of you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today in 5.